There is a Virgil van Dijk contract update. Is it good news? Is it bad news? Time will tell. Ibrahima Konate apparently wants £200,000 per week if he was to sign a new contract. Do you think he's worth it? Yes or no? Or should we cash in on the French international this summer? Osimhen's been linked with Liverpool. Ronald Araujo has also been linked as well. You know what it is, people? It's the Monday Night Live show. Sit back, relax. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Yes, beautiful people. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. It's Monday Night Live show, and you are joined by a man like Matt and myself. Drift, unfortunately, won't be able to make it today, but big up to Drift as always. People, we've got some stuff to talk about. Virgil van Dijk spoke about his contract after the game. Also, some journalists have chimed in about what they believe. We've got to speak about Konate. Is he worth 200k a week? Should we be keeping him? Should we be cashing in on him? Who would be the replacements? Osimhen, could he be the striker that we need? And also Ronald Araujo has been linked with a move to the Reds as well. Man, like Matt, how you doing, bro?
Bro, it's been a bit of a mad couple of days. Saturday was hectic for me.
Yeah,
it was my son's birthday party. That was mad. Yesterday, obviously, we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost. But again, the chat are gonna crash out of me because they're gonna say that I said, remember, in the preview, yeah. But I didn't predict that we were gonna have so many individual errors. That's something that I can't put into consideration when I'm doing these predictions, right? And it is a prediction. But I got it wrong, fair play. And yeah, not only that, it's half term, which means the kids are just there. You get me all day. So big up all the kids that are on half term. Just make it easy on us, please, because it's a lot right now. Big up all the parents in the chat. You know how the team run, innit?
Bro, today was the first day, and as I said, I survived.
I just about survived. Remember when I said to you that, my two woke up like they were going to school.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
bro. Mad thing. But you know what? With all that being said, let's get into Liverpool news. Hopefully it is positive, and it does look like the Virgil thing looks a little bit more positive.
Well, let's start there then, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of journalists have come out saying it's a matter of when, not if. Virgil van Dijk said there's progress, but he also said that you'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold that he's staying. How are you feeling about it now? Does this make you feel like a corner's been turned almost?
It makes me feel more positive because I've been like you in a sense of I thought they were all going. But the news today that when he says progress, that you can only treat that as positive, in my opinion. Like he didn't say like, nothing's changed, because he said that a few times when he said like, nothing's changed with my position in terms of the contract situation. If it does, then I'll let you guys know. But I have to be real. For Virgil to say that, and I think he said something like along the lines of I love the club, rare tear tear. I just think, maybe he is gonna stay now. And maybe us thinking that he was gonna leave, hopefully could be put to bed once and for all. But do you want to know something, Cal? Until it's done, I'm gonna reserve judgment. So even as positive, I just don't want to get carried away to be let down. And I think that's what it is with this club. There's too many times I feel like something's gonna happen, whether it's a transfer or a contract update, and nothing's happened and nothing transpires. I don't want it to continue like that. So let's just see what happens. Because remember, he loves the club, but we've known this. Like, he's not gonna say he doesn't love the club. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that line from Virgil saying he loves the club, I expect him to say that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, by all means, he said that a few times, as you said.
Mm.
So that for me isn't a shock. That there's no surprise there that he says comes out and says he loves the club. I think he said that a few times, and I think he shows it as well. Excuse me.
Yeah. Bless you, bro.
Thank you. The problem is, does the club see his love and think, yeah, we're going to give him a new contract, or are they looking at other things?
Mm.
So I'm going to play, as I do, devil's advocate. His performances of recent haven't been too great. Do you think
No.
that puts the club in a better negotiating position, or do you think it shouldn't really come into the equation?
Shouldn't really, because Virgil van Dijk has been immense for like 90% of the season so far. I mean, if we're being honest, the only two bad games he's really had was yesterday in Everton. Those are the only really two bad games that you can honestly say, yeah, Virgil's just, he wasn't good today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, other than that, he's been immense. Like, if the club try and turn around and use that against him, that's disgusting, if I'm being honest, bro. And I
But
don't
this
use
is
that word
the
like,
business, though, Matt. They've got in the same way Virgil's going to want what he wants. The club's
yeah.
going to also want a deal as well.
All right, so hear this now. You're playing devil's advocate, so I know you don't believe this. But if I'm Virgil's agent, I'm saying, all right, so my client has been immense for 90% of the season. He's had two bad games. Why don't you look at the minutes that he's played? Over 3,800 minutes, the same as his crime partner, Mohamed Salah. They have both played over 3,800 minutes, both of them. I think they played the most minutes out of anybody in the club, and they're the two oldest players. What can the club really say back to that?
Can
Yeah,
I
go on,
continue to play devil's advocate?
Yeah, go on.
If they're seen as some of the best players in the world,
Mm.
and they're seen as the two best players, and they'll be the two highest paid players,
Yeah,
then they should be available as much as we need them to be available, in theory.
it's okay being available, but this is where the manager Arnie Slot has to take a bit of what's the word I'd say? A bit of criticism. No one's saying to necessarily. All right, let me say this: if a game is being won and you kind of know it's done, you know you can bring up Virgil van Dijk. You know you can do that, right? Like, say you're 3-1 up and you got like 5 minutes left. You can do that. It's okay. No one's gonna die. The same thing with Salah. It's kind of ironic that those two have played the most minutes, and now I mean Salah probably more so because Salah, if we're being honest, has carried, in my opinion, that attack for a while, and Salah's getting a lot of criticism, and rightly so, because he's gone missing, so to speak. But the guy's played how much minutes? Like, he's a human being. They're both human. What do you expect them to do? And here's the thing: this is where the manager has to be smart enough to go, you know what? See Chiesa, I don't really rate him too tough, but I need to rest Salah. I've got to find a way to rest him. And in my opinion,
how do we know there's not demands? Sorry to cut you. How do we know these demands aren't coming from the players, though, Matt?
even if the demands are coming from the players, you're the coach. The coach still
I hear
picks
that.
the team. The players can't pick the team, bro. That's one thing we do know. The players can't pick the team. They actually can't. The coach has final say. So
Do you want a disgruntled Salah, though? Or do you want a disgruntled Virgil?
how can they be disgruntled if they're just having one? I don't know. Say they don't start a game and they're brought on. Remember, it's about game management. Now we always used to say about Klopp's game management, especially like in his first couple of years, was little bit iffy.
Yeah.
Slot's game management at times has been absolutely immense, and then there's other times when his game management hasn't been that great because we kind of predict the same subs no matter who's playing. So imagine Salah's not playing well, but he'll just take off Diaz. Why do that? Say Diaz, let's just say Diaz is having a better game. He'll take off Diaz and keep Salah on. It's like, no, bro, take off Salah. Salah looks tired. Like, give him a rest. He needs a rest. I don't understand why I've got to stop saying manager, but the coach can't do that. He's the coach for a reason. You have to make these tough decisions. Would you not agree?
No, of course I agree completely. I'm just saying, could there be other factors at play? And it could be.
Salah's been in talisman, and so is Virgil van Dijk. Both different. Salah scoring all the goals to lead us to the potential title, and should be title. And Virgil's been leading the defense like how he should be. But again, they can still get a rest. And you know what's so crazy? I think I've done a preview I want to say it by myself. I think it was for the Southampton game. And I was saying to the chat, do you think we should rest some players? Because some of these players have played way too much. Like, surely they can get a
They
rest.
crashed out on you, innit?
Yeah, the chat proper crashed out on me. Like,
I'm not
big
gonna
up
lie,
the chat.
you lot in the chat been moving like Debo from Friday recently.
Yeah, they're
You
checking us
crashing out
for
on us.
every step. But my thought was, and not saying it's vindicated now, but I said the players are tired. I remember Slot hasn't done that much rotation since that Southampton game. He's pretty much played the same lineup. Would you not agree, chat? And this ain't me having a go at the chat, but do you understand what I was saying at the time now? Knowing that the manager is going to keep playing the same plays over and over again. Because I remember when I said, oh, we should play Endo, I think Curtis Jones, like play players that you know can still win you a game. The chat can't, and big at the chat, they can't really say, oh, it's not good enough, because a lot of the chat now are kind of turned their opinion on Endo, like myself. Endo, in my opinion, is good enough to start against Southampton, who are relegation. And not only that, Cal, why can't you bring off players, top players, like Salah, like Virgil? Because here's the thing, Cal, and I know I don't want to go too far ahead because I know we're going to speak about him.
Yeah.
Konate hasn't looked the same since his injury.
Whoa.
All right.
Pump the brakes, Matt. Pump the brakes.
I was just starting to cook up something there, but yeah, we're for yeah. All right, we'll leave it there.
Right, let's out some of these super chats. Shout out to the Red Guy 8 says, I'm getting tired of the complacency from some people. The title isn't done and our form is stinky. We can't keep relying on Arsenal dropping points. We will speak about that, and I do hear where you're coming from. Shout out to JC that says Slot should have hooked Salah for Chiesa, not Robbo. Hear it as well. Shout out to the one, the only James Redmond.
Hey, big up James. All right, long time, my broski.
Come on, my lads. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, bro.
Big up James, man. I hope you're blessed, brother. Got to catch up,
bro. We've got to link up soon, James. We've got to link
and at the parade, James. I know you're going to be there as well.
You gotta be at the parade, bro. You better be.
No, James will definitely be there. Has to be there. We'll link up with James at the parade. There's bare people even in the chat. That's gonna be there. We'll have to link up. Trust me.
Yeah, big up Hammers, man. If you haven't subscribed to Hammers' channel, you guys know what to do, man. One of the best in the game.
Do that.
All right. Want to stick with Virgil for a little bit here.
Yeah.
With Virgil going forward, you speak about managing his minutes, etc.
Yeah.
How do you convey that message over to Virgil? Because for me personally, I would start holding Virgil back a lot more than what we play him now. Now, granted, that means we've got to go out and get a really top draw centre back. But how do you say to Virgil, who virtually plays every minute of every game, that going on next season you're going to be more of a rotational? How does he take that news as well?
The thing is, I don't think Virgil needs to be, so to speak, rotational. Do you remember when Man City started doing that with Company? I don't think he's there yet. I don't personally.
Company had more injuries, but my thing is, Matt, I'd rather do that before the injuries or bad form or decline hits than wait till it hits, if that makes sense.
Well, that all depends on Liverpool, though, bro. Because if Liverpool go and get a top centre back, whether it's a Bastoni, whether people rate Slotterbeck, whoever that centre back is, if you go and get a top draw centre back, you can do that. Because even this now, you see Huijsen. I think Huijsen is cold. I think he's quality, but I don't think Huijsen should be starting every game. But what you can do, maybe against the lower teams or whatever, you could play a Huijsen and an Ibu if he's still here or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And say to Virgil, do you know what? Unless we need you for this game, Virgil, we're just going to rest you for this game. But we got a big game coming up. Get a little bit more rest, and then obviously you'll play. But Virgil's still the main guy, he's the captain. I don't think we need to diminish his minutes. It's just more about giving him rest when you can. And I feel like we haven't done that. And I'll be real, this isn't me having a go at Jurgen Klopp, but I remember back in the day when Klopp used to play Virgil in literally, like them FA Cup games where it's like really like lower opposition. I'm thinking,
also like the Sparta Prague game where we're like 7-8-1 up on aggregate or something like that.
Playing all the big hitters, and it's like, broski, I know you don't want to lose, but when you're 4-5-0 up, you can rest the player. Now, don't want to go into Klopp because Klopp ain't here no more. Granted, Let's talk about Arnie Slot.
Slot's guilty of it as well to an extent.
Slot, in my opinion, still does the same thing. Don't get me wrong, he'll make changes. But sometimes as fans, and I'm sure the people in the chat will agree, we sometimes sit there and go, but why is Virgil still on? Why is Salah still on? And it'll be like, I don't know, the 90th minute and there's 6 minutes of injury time. Let's give you an example. You know you can take one of them off, right? Because those little bit of that respite just helps them that little bit more, extends their careers. But big up Drift. You know what Drift said? Big up Drift. If he's watching, he said, what really needs to happen is Virgil and Salah may need to retire potentially from international football to prolong their careers. And I know that's a hard thing to do because as a child, when you're growing up watching football and say you want to be a footballer, as much as you want to play for the club that you support, representing your country is another level. Like the world, the world playing in the World Cup must be an amazing feeling, even just to be picked. I can't even imagine, like, if I was younger and I'm like 21 years of age, Carl, and the England manager's calling me, or the Jamaica manager's calling me, or the Guyanese manager's calling me, and they're like, "Yeah, you're on board for the World Cup, brother." That's like life changing. You're representing your country, so to let that go, and when you're the captain, remember they're both captains. That's a hard thing to let go, but I just know that it will prolong their career. Big up Drift, because that was his point, and I agree with that. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know, bro.
So yeah, do you know what? I've not even thought about that. I don't see either of them retiring before the World Cup. So obviously Salah's got AFCON in January if he's still here, and Virgil will have the World Cup next summer if he's still here as well. My problem with the whole, and I suppose you could say this with Salah as well, is because them two have played so much, to then sell the project to a player to come in and say, look, you're going to get minutes, but you're potentially behind Virgil and Salah. You have to find a Mamadashvili type of character.
Damn, Cal, sorry to call you. Look at this. If this is true, big up LFC. This is crazy.
No, but it's crazy, but this isn't abnormal for Virgil since he's been here. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a problem for him where the club or Slot might turn around and go, you see, you're playing 100% of Premier League minutes. We might cut that to 70. Which in the grand scheme of things is still a lot of minutes.
Even 85, bro.
But why not 70?
The thing is, Virgil van Dijk. All right. So the reason why I'm saying that is because it all depends, like I said earlier, in the transfer market. If we go and get a Hato, in my opinion, who I'm not sure is built for a centre back in the Premier League, I think he's more built for a left back. Yeah. That doesn't. How can I explain it to you? It doesn't make me go, all right, we're good. Hato is a good player. I just don't sit there as comfortably maybe as others.
So all right,
it would have you'd have to bring in a top draw centre back for you to rest Van Dijk.
Do you know what? I wasn't going to do it, but let's do it. Let's look at our centre back situation.
Because we got a situation, bro.
We've got a situation in pretty much
we
most.
We didn't even replace Matip, remember?
Oh, bro, I know, bro. I've still got the Matip mask, bro. That's my guy.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Let's look at the centre back situation before we speak about Konate. Now, I suppose this will leak over into the Konate situation as well.
Yeah.
Virgil Konate, there are two best centre backs at the club right now, right?
Yeah.
Without shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Then it's Gomez and Kwanzaa. Yeah. In my opinion, quite a big drop off.
There is a big drop off.
That being said, then we know we need a fifth centre back right now. Now, that could be a centre-back who could play right-back or play left-back, hence why a lot of people have said Hato, including myself. But let's go on the premise that we go and get a Kirkes and Robbo stays. You've got Kirkes and Robbo as your two left-backs. You've got Bradley and whoever comes in as your two right-backs. But the club still go, yeah, we'll get a fifth centre-back. And let's assume Gomez and Kwanzaa stay.
Yeah.
What type of centre-back do you go for? Do you go for someone who is better or on the same level as Konate? I don't think we can find anyone better than Virgil. I still do think Virgil's the best centre back in the world. But do you go and get someone who's better than Konate on the same level? And also, do you get a right-sided centre back or a left-sided centre back?
I'm not too sure about the left or the right in terms of left side or right sided, but we need to get a centre back that's on the same level as Ibu.
All right, so shout out to Jamrock as well, because he said we don't need a fish centre back, Cal. We need an upgrade on either Gomez or Kwanzaa. I hear you, Jamrock. I think we need someone who's on the same level or
As
better
Ibu.
than Konate.
Yes.
Personally, because
Yes.
that's I don't want an upgrade on Gomez or Kwanzaa. I want someone who I go, Konate is not playing, but X name is playing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who is that player though? Who is out there?
See, this is where it gets tough. And you know what? I have to give, even though I don't like the team, you have to respect what they did. I say respect, but you just can't. Okay, let me just say, take note what they did. You see, Man City, when they lost company, they kind of lost their way of centre backs and they kind of had to like start building again. So they obviously, right now, they got Stones, they got Ruben Diaz, they got Ake, they got Gvardiol, and they got Akanji. You see
And
what they did there?
Kusanov as well.
And Kusanov. They went mad. They said, we don't know, we don't think no one can replace company. But what we're going to do is we're going to buy some specialist centre backs, but also full backs that can play centre back. We've never really done that. Bro, I hate to say, even Arsenal have done that. Tomiyasu can play centre back. Timber can play centre back, but you probably wouldn't play in there maybe because of the hype potentially. You've got Gabriel, you've got Saliba, you've got the other left-footed one. What's his name? The one that's played the other day. Kirill. You've got Calafiori that can play there. That's something that I feel like we lack at times. Like, don't get me wrong, Joe Gomez and Kwanzaa can kind of do that, but to a lesser level. Maybe more so Kwanzaa at a lesser level, because I think Gomez can play fullback pretty decently and centre-back. The problem is with injuries. We need to get in my opinion, another top centre-back, bro. In my opinion. And like you said, if he's not, because I don't think you're going to get another Virgil Cal, but surely if you scour the globe, you can get someone who can challenge Ibu as well. Because here's another thing. I'm the biggest Ibu fan, but at the same time, Ibu needs to be challenged. He can't just think in his mind, no matter what I do, I'm always gonna play. Because I'll say this right now, Ibu don't fear Gomez and Kwanzaa. He don't fear them. He got rushed back from injury and was still played ahead of Kwanzaa, who was there. Kwanzaa didn't get a look in from the first game when the manager said, "You're not winning your duels." Big up Mons. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that the proof is in the pudding, bro. Players need to be challenged.
All right. Let's throw some. In fact, no. What we'll move on to Konate and then we'll circle back to here. If I was to ask you, Matt, where do you rank Konate in terms? And I'll ask everyone in the chat as well. Guys, please don't forget to smash the like button as well while we're here. Where would you rank Konate in terms of best centre backs in the world?
For me, I think he's one of the top 5 centre backs in world football.
All right, let's list them then. So VVD.
I gone VVD. I'm going Virgil. I'm going.
You said VVD twice.
Oh, then I said Virgil. All right, so I'm going. Thailand. All right. Let me start again. In no order.
Yeah.
I'm going Ibu.
Yeah.
I'm going Virgil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still put Rudiger there, even though Rudiger's going a little bit funky, but he's still a top centre back for me. Still one of the best in the world.
Yeah. I
think Gabriel might be in there now. I think he might have knocked out Saliba.
Bastoni there.
Do you know what, Cal? I don't want to be naive because I haven't watched a lot of Italian football this year.
Bastoni gotta be in there.
All right, let me ask you this: is Bastoni better than Saliba in your opinion?
Yeah.
You can put Bastoni there then.
And I rate Saliba.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's keep on going. So Saliba's there. Saliba is another name.
Yeah, Saliba's will be in and around there. Who else is there? I think that's where it
You
stops.
watch a lot of Barca. Kubasi? Is Kubasi in there?
Not there. He's not there. He's good, but he's not there. I would not call him Araujo before the injuries. I think Araujo was I thought Araujo was cold.
All right, we're
But
gonna circle back
injuries
to
have bro. Apparently, Barca even looking to sell him, and they just signed a renewal. So I don't know what's going on.
we're gonna speak about him because he's been linked with us today.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I'm just throwing names. Upamecano is a no for me. Kim Min-jae at Bayern Munich.
He's good. Slotterbeck's good as well. They're good defenders, but see, Eden Militao, the injuries. Before the injuries, Eden Militao was there.
Yeah.
And listen, I know some people say bias, yeah.
Sorry, Marquinhos in there?
I don't think Marquinhos is the same Marquinhos, personally. I'd say, no, he's probably still in the top 10. Marquinhos is top 10. I won't say he's top 5.
Okay.
People saying I'm being biased to Ibu, yeah, but here's the killer. Up until the injury, no one can't say nothing about Ibu. I'm sorry, you just can't.
All right.
Ibu was one of the best centre backs in the Prem. Easy.
I'm gonna start asking some questions now, Matt. That I probably wouldn't ask. If we weren't in the same room, I wouldn't ask these questions. I'm taking a bit of a liberty here because I know Ibu's your guy.
You go on.
Do we as a fan base overrate Konate?
I personally don't think so, no.
Why don't you think so? Because I do. And when I say overrated, I don't think he's rubbish. Because I think the common consensus is when we say, "Oh, he's overrated," the immediate reaction is, "Oh, you think he's rubbish?" No, I rate Ibu really high. I do think he's overrated in our fan base, though, in the sense of I don't think him. Yeah,
I'm seeing the chat. You see how the chat just couldn't wait.
This is not devil's advocate. This is me.
Look, Bozo, Gene. I'm glad someone said that. I'm going to address that.
I'm going to touch on it. I spoke about that earlier on in the morning show.
I got a stat that people be quite interested in as well. Yeah, go on.
I don't know if Ibu is top. I think a lot of Liverpool fans have Ibu as top 3, definitely top 5. I don't know if Ibu's definitely secured top 5 yet. I think he's either just in, he's on the cusp. I think a lot of our fan base have Ibu as like the second best centre back in the world or third best. I don't think he's that. I think for that reason, I think he's overrated. But for me, he's a player I would not want to lose. And I believe if he has another season like this, where he's had most of his season, he will be undeniably top 5 and one of the best centre backs in the world. But I need to see it for one more season. Now, that being said, Matt, you did pick up and touch on something there. Before the injury, he was magnificent. Since the injury, he hasn't been as good.
Yeah,
now,
I agree
once again, does that come back to slot in the sense of, has he been rushed back? Is he fully recovered? And also, what again does that say about the lack of depth in quality and the manager's perspective on the squad as well?
All right, so I'm gonna try and be as unbiased as possible, and I mean it when I say that. Chat, I'm being dead for real, no cap. Yeah. When the season started, I thought Virgil and Ibu were just clear of every other centre back in the Prem. First of all, and when I say clear, I'm including Gabriel and Saliba, and I think they're quality. I think it's a defensive unit as a whole. When I include the fullbacks of Arsenal, that's where they're closer to us. But if you're just talking about the 2 centre back pairings, I wouldn't swap our 2 centre back pairings personally. I think what Virgil and Ibu offer is they're just both generals in that defense. I'm going to read out some stats for you guys, yeah? Virgil van Dijk, yeah? He's won 147 duels and lost 72. Yeah? 147 and lost 72. Konate has won 117 and only lost 62. Aerial battles. Konate's won 65 and lost 28. So 65, 28 aerial duels. Virgil van Dijk has won 98 and lost 43. They are commanding. And just to go about the Bozo Gene, because again, I fully understand Virgil van Dijk is clear of Ibu as a football player. Like as a pure footballer. In my opinion, Virgil is elite. Konate is just a good footballer. He's not immense, he's not outstanding. And that's where I can be honest in it. But you know, so crazy. they've only both made one mistake that's actually led to a goal officially in the Prem. Both of them. They've both made one mistake each that's led to a mistake. And I understand Konate getting caught on the ball, rare tete. You shouldn't do that. I understand that. And some people might say bozo.
So to cut you, yesterday when he tried to do this, is that the Zidane
of course, he got caught
that
up.
didn't lead to a goal, but that is why people will suggest the bozo.
I'm glad you said that.
And that went up in stats, for example.
Agreed, but Virgil's done the same thing in early games. I remember when Virgil got caught. Remember when Virgil's been caught on the ball and was doing a madness, right? Virgil van Dijk is a better passer. It's not even close. Virgil's in a different stratosphere. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But you need both defenders because they both have a mix and blend of what the other person doesn't have. Like Virgil's like the commander, and like Konate is like the enforcer, and it's like the perfect mix and blend for me. Now, I'm telling you from now, people. Some people love this whole bozo. I don't think he's a bozo. Personally, I don't. But if you do, fair enough.
You've watched Banshee, innit?
Yeah.
Remember Proctor in his Hitman?
Yes.
Virgil's Proctor and Ibrahima the Hitman.
Yeah, he's suit and tie man. Remember suit? Yeah, he's suit and tie.
Like Virgil's the brains, and if he needs to get messy as well, Virgil can get messy. But usually he sends my man to go and deal with the situation. Yeah, I think that's what Konate is. Again, another thing, sorry to cut you, Matt. Another thing that people won't constitute the Konate argument is how much he does cover for Trent. And this is not me trying to get on Trent's back or anything like that.
Bro, I was going to get onto that. I'm glad you said that.
That can't be really shown in stats either. So, and again, the injuries that Ibri's picked up this season, if I'm not mistaken, one was for when Virgil stood on his arm, and I think he might have missed a game. And the other one was where
Real Madrid,
Endrick landed on his knee. So, again, people speak about the injuries in terms of Konate, but again, that doesn't paint the full picture because look how the injuries happen. But the reason why I want to speak about Konate now is currently the rumors are he wants 200k a week.
And he's on a rumored 80, apparently.
He's on a rumored 80 or 70. 70 is what we thought. 80 is what the rumor is.
Yeah.
Straight away, Matt, if you tell me 200k, I'm like, cool. It's the club's money. They'll make that back in no time. I'm doing it. But there'll be pushback from other sections of the fan base. You go, look at the injuries, some of the moments that he has, the fact he's on 80k. Does he need 100? Does he need 200k? Virgil's on 220. Why should he get 200k? Present your argument, bro, for why you believe Ibu should get 200k and that it shouldn't be a thing where the club go, what we doing here?
All right. The market right now for centre backs is very, very slim. If we're being honest, it is. It's not filled with amazing talent, and if it is, the talent is still young. And I like Huijsen's an example. I think Huijsen's cold, but I don't think Huijsen's better than Ibu. Is he a better natural footballer? I think he is actually. He's a better natural footballer, but he's not a better defender. Not yet. Konate is 25 years of age, bro. He's 25. He's not even in his prime yet. And like you said, we play quite expansive, whether it's Conor Bradley or Trent. That right hand, obviously it's been more Trent. That right hand side has been vacated. Konate is having to do a lot of covering for Trent. We've seen it throughout this season a lot. You're talking about a guy, that for me embodies Liverpool. He was the France captain for a little bit. I know Mbappe was out, but he understands what it is to play for Liverpool. The report came from the Times, and the Times they're pretty good with their information. And the quote was, he wants something close to 200. Liverpool Football Club have really got to stop underpaying players that are really worth that amount, in my opinion. So even if he's on 80, I'm sure you can find a compromise at 180. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We can't be undercutting these players and thinking they're just going to accept 140 when you know they can go and get 140 somewhere else. And people want to sit there and maybe criticize Konate since he's come back from his injury, who I do think has rushed back. And I also tell you why. I've seen Konate's posts after a couple of games when he was back, and he was still doing, imagine, work on his knee, Cal. There was one where he's in his yard and he's doing the balance thing when he's balancing. Like, you shouldn't even be doing that. But do you know why he's doing that? Because Slot don't trust no one, apparently. And not only that, he knows that he has to give it his all because we're at a position where Imagine he's willing, and this is bad but good at the same time, bro. He's willing to put his blood on his line for the club.
Yeah.
That in itself says a lot for me as well. And I get it; he should have been rushed back, and I think the manager probably should have held him back. But I think it will be a hard task to replace Ibra. You know, I really do, and I think people are looking at it too simply, just going, "Oh, well, he's got a bit of a bozo gene in him. He does this every now and again, bro." We're about to win the league with Konate as being one of our main defenders, along with Virgil.
One of our best players this season.
One of our best players up until the injury, bro. People won't like me saying this, but it's the truth. At one point, at certain points, he was better than Virgil, bro. But people don't like that narrative because I'm saying it, and because they think that I'm championing it. But there were games, quite a few games, where he was better than Virgil, bro. Konate has been immense, bro, and he's 25. He's going to get better with coaching. I'm telling you, bro.
Right. What I've done, Matt.
And not only that, Cal, just quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
His contract runs out in 2026, Cal.
Yeah.
If he leaves on a free, Cal, I'm telling you, we can go and get Osimhen. But Osimhen,
I think it's make or break this summer. I don't think the club's in the business of letting players go for free anymore.
Bruv, we can't let him walk for free. If we let him walk for free, Cal, we're cooked. Because you see all the centre backs that you mentioned, yeah. Bastoni, I don't even know where we leave Italy. I think the most realistic one that we may have mentioned is Schlotterbeck, because I think he's willing to leave. Rudiger's not leaving Real Madrid. The Arsenal centre backs are not leaving anytime soon, in my opinion, anyway. And do you get what I mean? So, who are you aiming for? That's not what the chat. Who are you aiming for? That's better than Ibra right now that you think is realistic. In my opinion,
or someone on the same level. I'd love to hear that from the chat as well.
Love to hear.
But what I've done, Matt, we listed names of players who we consider to be the top centre backs in the raw. Schlotterbeck did his MCL.
What?
Lauren, when did that happen? That's another cow curse, isn't it? Yeah, that's another cow curse. Oh!
All right, do you know what I'm gonna say though, Cal? Yeah, and I was kind of strict when I said this because this is when I was speaking about Trent. And I said I'm sick and tired of players walking for free. All right, so as much as this, say, I'm not biased, and this is where the people will understand me now. I want Ibra to stay at the club, but Cal, if he doesn't want to sign a new deal, we might have to sell him. I can't believe I'm even saying that. We can't afford to let him go for free, Cal. We can't. We can't keep allowing top talents to leave for free. Ibra's 25 years old. If he say like they're negotiating, like because this contract will start in October. See, Hincapié does not move me at all at centre back.
Yeah, Schlotterbeck's out for the rest of the season.
Are you joking?
Wow. No,
he was the most realistic one out of all of them. You know that.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I might stop speaking about transfers. We'll stop.
Yeah, you might need to. But you know what, Carl? I'll put the attention on me for a minute because I'm going to say this public service announcement.
That's bad.
If Ibra doesn't sign a contract by the time next season starts, Liverpool might actually have to look into selling him. We kind of, as much as I love Ibra and want him to stay at the club, Cal, I can't fathom another year of Ibra, another year of a top player, and they're about to leave. I can't do that again, bro. They can't keep doing that to us. Trent's about to do it. We can't allow Ibra. Ibra's 25. He's in the same age as Trent. Or was he a year younger?
He's a year younger.
He's a year younger than Trent. We can't afford to allow him to leave for free. You know, just walk to Real Madrid or PSG, bro.
Yeah.
Could just walk there.
Guys in the chat, I apologize for this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the Schlotterbeck news is crazy because I'm not gonna lie. He's one of the realistic ones that I thought, yeah, you know what? He's probably better than Gomez.
He's actually one of the players I really wanted us to get as well.
And I know you kept on saying Bastoni for a reason to not say his name.
No, but I said
I know you said Schlotterbeck. Yeah. I didn't.
Tom, there's Tom. Tom's in the chat. Tom's in the
big
chat.
Up Tom. Tom, we're gonna talk about tomorrow still. Remember, Tom, that's your crime. This is your crime. Wait, Tom, that's your crime partner, you know. That's your crime partner, you know.
No, that's crazy. I said I need to go back to Jamaica for spiritual cleansing.
Do you know what I think is realistic? Someone said the name in the chat.
All right, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna come back to that.
Bro, if this happens,
Because I got some horrible scenarios in a bit.
yeah.
All right. So these are all the centre backs that we said were in the. No, Bastoni did not do that shit over the weekend, Jay. No,
No, he didn't. I'm gonna say that right now. If he did, I think we should lock the stream, Dave.
no, surely not. No, Jay. No, surely not.
Oh my days,
Oh no,
bruv.
I was speaking to my friend about Bastoni.
All right, so they're
Friday.
saying reports that Bastoni trained separately this morning, but but Inter are confident he'll be available against Bayern tomorrow. Bastoni will continue to be monitored, but his condition doesn't seem worrying. There was something. So Jay isn't lying. There was definitely something with Bastoni. They're saying he's available, but there was a worry with Bastoni. There was.
Yeah, guys, I apologize for that one, man. I'm not even gonna lie, I apologize.
You know, so crazy. Bastoni hasn't had an injury all season, not one.
Yeah, that's
not
wild.
one.
All right, these are. I'm gonna try and take some heat off myself here. These are these are the centre backs that we all listed and said that are in the top echelon of centre backs.
Yeah.
So VVD is on 220k a week.
Yeah.
Rudiger's on 234.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel from Arsenal was on 100k, but he's negotiating a new contract as we speak, apparently.
Yeah.
Bastoni's on 195, sorry, on 180k, roughly.
Yeah.
Saliba's on 190k.
Yeah.
Kim Min-jae is on 200k, roughly.
Jeez, he's getting
Marquinhos is in around 300k.
Yeah, Marquinhos getting that legendary status paid. Yeah. They're treating him like Thiago Silva over there. He ain't going nowhere.
Right. And Slotterbeck is on 76k.
Oh my god! So he was actually the one with the modest contract out of all of them.
So, if I'll be real, if it's a meniscus tear, let me not even speak.
Just don't.
Yeah, let me not.
Yeah,
let me not speak.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. This one's shaking me up. I'm not even gonna front you, bro. Lukeba salary. This is really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. I didn't expect Schlotterbeck to get injured. All right, so Lukeba, who signed a new contract, is on around 85k. Hold on. Yeah, on around on around 85k per week.
What, Lukeba?
Yeah.
Right, he's on more than Ibit, but then he just signed a new deal though. He just signed a new deal.
And he's got a release clause.
Yeah.
Another player. What do you think of Murillo, Matt? Because I'll be honest, Murillo, I'm starting to change my mind on him.
Same. Do you know what it is?
It's the system. Murillo's only on 40k.
Murillo's good, but
he signed a new contract in 2025. But his weekly wage went from 30 to 40k. That suggests to me there might be a release clause in there somewhere.
Here's the thing: Murillo is good. He is good, but something put me off him the other day. I think it is when I watched the Argentina game. He was trash.
How was he?
He was trash, bro. Like bad, like stinky, like he didn't belong. And I know that's just one game. You can't base that off one game. He's had a good season. Him and his and his centre back partner. What's his name? Milinkovic, yeah.
Milinkovic been sick this season.
But do you know what I've noticed with Liverpool though? I don't know why. I always feel like it's gonna sound weird. I feel like we need tall defenders. People always love to fling like crosses in. And I feel like you see like the aerial duels. There's a reason why Virgil van Dijk and Konate have got so many aerial duels that they have to contest with, bro. People like doing that against us. I don't know why, but you can't be like 4'7" and play for Liverpool. No disrespect, you can't.
Say 4'7". You know, Murillo's 6 foot. He's like,
yeah, I know, but
he's around our height.
You don't even look 5 foot, bro.
It's because he's so built in it. I'm
Yeah,
looking at
he's
his
mad stocky, bro.
So his aerial battles won this. That's all season.
Season is 10.
So aerial battles this
15.
season, he's won 34 aerial battles and lost 20 this season.
That
He's made
is
no
that's
errors
bad.
leading to goals. He's won 108 duels, lost 71.
Hold on,
87
how many aerial
duels.
duels did you say he won?
He's won 34 aerial duels, aerial battles won this season, 20 lost.
That's a bad ratio, you know.
But how many, and that's another thing, how many teams go long against Nottingham Forest and how many teams cross the ball against Nottingham Forest? Probably not that many. The thing is, what's difficult to judge with Nottingham Forest defenders is the system they play in is very much a low block system. And they usually hit teams on the counter. Not to say they can't play football, but it's a low block. And they usually hit the back. So it's a difficult one to judge Nottingham Forest players. That being said, looking at the different salaries of the different players that we've all spoken about, the fact that Ibu's on 70k and the rest are on upwards of 100k, some of them hitting 200, 300 in Marquinhos' case.
Yeah.
Does that emphasize the reason why 200k should be a no-brainer or close to it?
100%. Close to it, bro. Even if you don't give him 200, you can give him 170, 180. Like, that's the going rate of a defender of Ibu's quality. Can't keep doing the underpaid thing. You can't, bro. Yeah. Like, it worked, so to speak, when we wasn't who we are now. Does that make sense? So when we first signed Mane, Salah, even Vivian at that point, we weren't that team that we are now. We hadn't won trophies.
Big up Anila.
Big up Anila, man. Like, we didn't have that resume where the players could list off to their agents and say, I want to get paid to this because look at my credentials. Now we're there. Ibu's about to win a Prem. What are you going to turn around and say to him? Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear it.
You know what? You see Matip here? Matip is one hell of an anomaly. That's it. Anomaly, yeah? I don't think you're ever going to find a free centre-back as good as John Matip for a while. Free.
Oh, man, I got to send you something.
Yeah, go on.
I can't speak about that. I got to send you something. Shout out to Lakers.
Is it something mad?
Something good, bro. I can't speak about it. I can't.
Oh, you can't speak about it?
No, I can't. Literally, the chat will kill me if I say anything.
All right.
I'll send it to your WhatsApp.
Yeah. Let me see.
Just before you speak on it, though, Jamrock's got a point here. The centre backs that Liverpool have bought over recent years, Matip,
brother. If that happens, my goodness, brother.
Matip, Virgil, and Konate. So if we're going by that premise, the likes of Hato, the likes of Hato, Murillo, Lukeba, are all off the list then. Because if we're looking at centre backs who are 6'3" and over, then you're mainly looking at a Schlotterbeck. And I don't think we'll get Bastoni as much as I'd love us to. Matt, feel free to share the news that I sent you. I'm going to mute my mic, by the way.
I'm going to say it. And again, it is a rumor. But our good old friend, Indy, Indy has got some things right. He got some things wrong. But he said Man City face competition for Bayern Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz, and that's Liverpool. The news will start breaking in the mainstream media very soon. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But all I do know is you lot know Florian Wirtz is the freaking truth. We've been speaking about Florian Wirtz for about 3 seasons now. And again, don't want to get too ahead of it because, you know, with Indy, sometimes you can just say certain things. However, if this transpires, oh my gosh, bruv, a pure 10, tears in my eyes, bruv. If we get a pure 10, but you know what it is though? I don't want to I don't want to get too gassed because you know what it is. Kevin De Bruyne is leaving City, and I just know they're gonna go. Let's just run with the narrative. Let's just run with the narrative that we are interested in Verts. Let's run with the narrative. Man City will do everything in their power because that's the Kevin De Bruyne replacement.
Shout out to Pip. Shout out to Pip. Yeah, that is actually fact.
And the thing is, we're clutching right now. We need good news, but I'll be real. Like, is this months? Months. Don't you dare.
Of course, it's months. Big up to Big Six Bats.
Do you know what? You see, months, yeah.
Months is the biggest villain. I told you.
I know because he's never rated Konate. He doesn't rate him like that.
No, he does. I have to stick up for Months.
No, he doesn't. He said he's a bozo.
No, he.
How can you say you rate man, but you think he's got the bozo gene? You rate him, but he's got the bozo gene.
No, so he says these are Monty's words. Out of all the Konate is a top centre back, but out of all the top centre backs, he's the one most likely to make a mistake. He says
more than Gabriel.
Monty's words, not mine.
More than Rudiger. I think people need to watch Rudiger and Gabriel. In fact, you see Rudiger, top centre back. You lot don't. Please don't get me started. Because I think Gabriel will make more. Gabriel will make more, bro. I'm just saying. We can have that conversation once. We can have that conversation.
Matt, just on the person you've been speaking about. Yeah. If we don't get him, which I don't expect us to, because City are gonna put everything into it. Who'd you rather get? Xavi Simons or Shirky?
Oh. You really okay? I thought we was talking about the other player, but you can't say his name. All right, cool.
Yeah, I can't say his name, but we're not getting him though.
Sharky. There's something about Xavi Simons that's a bit. Statistically, he's actually not that bad. I think he's got 13 GA in 26, got 1 in 2. But Sharky for me is like a pure footballer that just needs a bit of coaching for the top level where. When you don't have the ball, you still got to be busy. Because when Shirky's got the ball, it's like he's a different type of... It's like he's just different, bro. But when he's off the ball... And that's the thing. When you're at the top level, you can't do that, though. That's the thing. You can't. No matter your talent level, you have off the ball. You see what Mourinho done to Ozil at Real Madrid? You see Ozil, yeah? He turned Ozil into a machine at Real Madrid, bro. Yeah, listen, if you watched Ozil at Real Madrid, that was the best version of Ozil. Before, even when he was at Werder Bremen. Was it Werder Bremen? I think it's Werder Bremen. Or Wolfsburg. Yeah. Werder Bremen? Werder Bremen, I think it was. Bremen. When Ozil was at Real Madrid, yeah, Mourinho challenged him, was like, listen, you've got all the talent in the world, but I need you to work hard. You see, go and watch Ozil at Real Madrid. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Ozil at Real Madrid was a joke. All the technical ability, but when I say to you, Mourinho still sold him. That's very true. But do you know what it is, though, Monts?
Hold on. Was it Mourinho? Was it, again, I'm asking the question.
I can't remember if it was Mourinho.
But I don't know if it was Mourinho.
They started to see...
They sold him for Bale, right?
Yeah, but they started to see the little bit of the drop off. They rinsed Ozil, you know. Oh,
if you don't think it was Mourinho that sold Bale, I might be wrong.
I can't remember. Monts, double check that, please, my broski.
It was Ancelotti, no? Because it was Bale's first season. They won the
even Leo thinks it was Ancelotti. Yeah, so Months. Maybe I think it was Ancelotti. I genuinely can't remember.
All right, we've obviously gone on a tangent here. We're going to circle back to Ibra in a sec.
Yeah.
If we were to get the player that you spoke about that I can't speak about, does he work in our midfield? Despite the talent's undeniable. Does he work in our current setup though?
Bless up Months. Yeah. What you think? All right. Why would it not work?
I know Monts is in the chat. Before Monts thinks I'm trying to do Sobozlai prop or anything like that. I'm saying, does he work given that our midfield at the moment is so easy to play through?
Florian Wirtz is a magician in the 10. You're going to lose athleticism and a lot of it if you play Florian Wirtz. But this is where Liverpool have to be smart. You don't buy one player and think it's just going to change everything. What you do is you buy Florian Wirtz and then you go and get a centre mid who has more athleticism than Graven McAllister. And you
hold that. That's why I was bringing the question.
Oh, okay.
does he work in our current midfield? Because I don't know if we sign another centre midfielder.
No, it still definitely works though. I know we're going to lose athleticism and pace, but sometimes the technical abilities is so great that, like, again, I know you're going to lose the ball. And I know Florian Wirtz isn't athletic, but bro, when you could do that much damage in a number 10, you're almost allowed to give up a little bit of defensive now, so to speak, that Szoboszlai will give you. We know what Szoboszlai will do. He'll cover every blade of grass, but again, Szoboszlai's overplayed anyway. So let's just say, for example, because I don't think Szoboszlai's going anywhere, by the way. I know Montz won't like me saying this. I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, again, to stick up for Montz, I don't think he wants Sobo sold. I just think he, again, using Montz.
He doesn't want him in a 10, to be fair. Now, to be fair, if I remember when me and Montz were speaking, he was like, Matt, he's just not a 10. And I was like, I agree.
He feels he's misprofiled.
So let's just say you have a.
I could lie on Montz's name, but it would be wrong of me to do that.
No, no need to do that. Montz is our brother. We ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, what I remember Montz saying is he can play in the pivot, innit? Or what did Montz say again? He went in to play at right back, I think it was, which I disagree with, but I think he could play in one of the pivot positions potentially. But it'd have to be against like someone very, very defensive for that to happen, in my opinion. So like a faster, think of an athletic Endo next to a Szoboszlai could work potentially, if that makes sense.
Do you think that midfield three would work though? Because I'll be honest, I'd worry for that midfield three defensively.
Bruv, yeah, but when you've got the ball.
Yeah, but you don't always have the ball in the game, man.
All right. This people are going to laugh at this. Was it Brendan Rodgers when he was like death by possession or something like that? Yeah. Big up Brendan Rodgers, man. No, big up Brendan. But the premise is, if you've got the ball, no one can hurt you. You know, still to this day, we don't control games as good as we should, though, right? Too many hot potato passes in the team. Would you agree or disagree?
I think that's unfair to say that over the course of the season. I'd definitely say since the turn of the year, I'd say that is true. But up until the calendar year ended in 2024, between the start of the season to literally January, I'd say we controlled games fantastically well. And so far in 2025, I'd say the Tottenham game in the Carabao Cup, the second leg, the Man City game, I think we controlled. But then again, we've been very inconsistent in 2025. That I will agree with. But over the course of the season, I think we have.
Call me crazy. Because Liverpool is an emotional football club, I feel like we could never really be like a Man City team and just like you see old school Man City would just pass you to death. I don't think we could ever be that. I feel like there's something within our club that won't even allow that. Like it sounds weird. Like
I don't think Scott wants that either, though.
No, you're right. But like I'm just saying, like, you see how you're saying, we're gonna lose a lot defensively. Well, you're applying that by putting Wirtz there instead of Szoboszlai. You worry for that midfield. If I told you right now that there was a midfield for this particular game of, I'm just going to use names, by the way, Tchouaméni, McAllister, and Wirtz. Does that work for you?
You tell me, brother. You tell me.
That's crazy. Yo,
you tell me, brother. I'll empty this now.
Cow's going crazy, bro.
I will empty this now.
Man wasn't even expecting that. Man had it there ready. You was gonna say that's crazy. But
yeah,
you get the but you get the premise, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'll even say this though, Cal, and this is not. I'm not making fun. This is me being genuine.
Tchouaméni, McAllister, and the other one.
Even Montz is saying. So you've got a deal.
I'm gonna say it from now. Yeah, if we sign Tchouaméni and the other guy, I'm gonna have my feet out on camera. It's gonna get crazy over the summer break. I'll have my feet out. You lot will see the soul of my feet.
Hey, Montz, it's gonna get dark. You know, you hearing what Carl's saying?
You lot are gonna see my toes. No pause. You're gonna see my toes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Montz. Yeah, his hair, bro. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Nah, man, this is what I gotta deal with. But hear what I'm saying. All jokes aside, though, bro. All jokes aside. Hear what I'm saying. We buy a profile of Many, that type of player, combative, but very hard in a challenge, can read the defensive plays and whatever. But on the ball, he might not be the greatest, but he's good enough. Like he's good enough on the ball. You apply it with a McAllister. And remember, I'm just saying McAllister, but it could be a grab. But I'm saying McAllister because I still feel like McAllister is still overall our best, like overall centre mid. Gravenberch hasn't done it long enough yet for me. As much as you guys know I support Grav, but he hasn't done it long enough where you could say he's better than McAllister. But there's rotation there. Tchouaméni, McAllister, and Florian Wirtz cook up the place. They cook up the place, bro.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I tell you something, man. Like, you see, if we signed him, or even the other guy with the dreadlocks at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
this summer's
say
gonna
the
be
name. Yeah, I'll say the name. Camavinga. I'll say the name.
This summer's gonna be a write-off. It's gonna be an absolute write-off. I tell you that for free.
Do you know what? Do you know one thing Liverpool, in my opinion, underestimate as well? You see, when you just sign a player of really good quality, doesn't have to be world class, but good quality. Do you know how much of a lift it gives to the fan base? Like that belief that gives you. So, say for example, we signed the player that you don't want to say. Let's say we signed him from Leverkusen. Even if people are unsure how he's going to fit in, do you know how much of a lift that gives us as fans? Like we're going in the right direction and we've just went and got one of the top European players. Like, bro, Liverpool, I feel like really underestimate what that means to us, you know? Because I know, big at the journalists, I'll just say big them up because I ain't got no problem with any of them. Some of them will say things like, oh, all these fans do is complain about signings. No, we don't. What we do say is we need more signings because the signings on the pitch will definitely help us. And not only that, it gives the whole club a lift. Example, Luis Diaz, when was trying to chase the quad. Do you know how much of a lift Luis Diaz was? We was a little bit like, you know, like you just floating a little bit flat, kind of, so to speak. Diaz gave us a lift, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Am I lying, chat? When we signed Diaz?
No, completely agree.
So yeah, man.
Completely agree. Let's speak about the midfield, Matt, because obviously, like McAllister's goal yesterday, by the way. Oh man, it's just
he's different quality, bro.
Sublime, bro.
McCarthy's different, bro.
However, this midfield situation, bro, for me personally, I can see the argument for keeping Endo, but I can also see the argument for letting him go. I personally think Bajcetic is better than Endo. For whatever reason, it feels like the chat and a lot of fans have turned against Bajcetic because he's not directly in eyesight. But I think Bajcetic is better than Endo, and I think people forget what Bajcetic was doing before he got injured. But I would also caveat that by saying I would like Bajcetic, if he were to come back to Liverpool, to be fifth choice centre midfielder. Curtis Jones, bro, who is effectively third choice midfielder, still really splits opinion. There was a part in the game yesterday where I was screaming almost at the telly when he had the ball and Calvin Bassey was all over him, and all he had to do was just pass it away.
And
instead he hung on to it, try almost to make a point like, I can deal with pressure.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I don't care if you can deal with pressure. Pop the ball off and get someone else on the ball so you can move away from Calvin Bassey. You already dragged him out of position. Do we need to sign someone who makes Curtis Jones fourth choice midfielder? And if so, how does Curtis react to that, in your opinion?
He won't like it. Listen, I think
in
Curtis
fact, I'll go one better. Do we need to sign someone who's better than Mac and Grav? And do we need to make one of those two third choice and then Curtis automatically becomes fourth choice? That I think is a better question.
All right, I want to make this abundantly clear. I don't want to sell Curtis Jones. I don't want to sell him. I think he's still a good squad player, but I just don't think he's a starting player personally. But I think he's still good though. You need a player like Curtis Jones, in my opinion, where if someone is injured, you put Curtis Jones there. Because I know a lot of people will start giving other names, but are they? I'm not sure. But anyway, in regards to a player that we're bringing that's better than Mac and Grab or can challenge them, 100% yes. And it officially would move Curtis Jones down the pecking order. And again, I don't want him sold. But that's what we should be trying to do. Remember, Cal, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say in Klopp's last year or last 2 years, we got told our transfer strategies kind of changed. And we only want to look for players that are going to get into the first team and challenge. Like, so we weren't looking for like substitutes. We're looking for top players that are going to really enhance the team. Well, this is what I need to see from the club, bro. That shouldn't have changed. I want to see us bring in Shuameni, Camavinga, whatever top midfielders there are. I want us to try and go for them players. Because here's the thing, Cal. I know when Slot looks at that team sheet, by default, he just puts Mac and Grav there. He just does it by default. He just goes, they're the two best midfielders. No one ain't better than them. Unless they're off form. Big up Jamie.
To Jamie's channel. Big up on the opportunity as well, brother. We'll speak soon. We'll speak after the show.
Definitely. I just want us to get midfielder that can challenge them. Because right now, there's no challenge. As good as Curtis Jones is, I don't think he really challenges them. And if we're being honest, I don't want to disrespect Curtis Jones. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's exceptional, and there's a difference. Curtis Jones doesn't challenge Gravel Mac. He might challenge Soberslai, in my opinion, potentially at times. But we need a player that when you just go, all right, Graf can sit down because we got this guy. Graf can sit down in this one, and we don't like raise an eyebrow. We don't have that, Cal. We already know what our best midfield is. And sometimes it sounds weird. Sometimes you almost don't want to know. Or you're and ahhing because these three players are so good. You don't have to have 4 great midfielders, but I think having 3 great midfielders. And when I say great, I'm putting Grav in there, and it's a bit early, but I'm just an example. You got McAllister, Grav, and player X. We got to do that. We have to.
All right, let's say it was Schumann or Camavinga that came through the door. In fact, I'll use Belabor as another one because a lot of people rate him.
People really.
And let's say I'm going to say we get Shirky as well. We got Real Madrid.
Yeah, we're really doing something.
Got Real Madrid quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yeah. Everyone's fit and on form. Who would be a starting midfield 3? Belabor and Shirky come in. Who's your starting midfield 3?
For Real Madrid. You're going to think I'm mad.
I think I know what you're going to say. We're at Anfield. I'm going to say we're at Anfield.
We're at Anfield.
Yeah. First leg. They've got everyone fit as well.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know.
Who's all right? I'll start from the top. Who starts in the 10? What about Elliot or Shirky? You see the headache you've got right now. That's how I want Slot to be. I want him to be sitting in his office thinking, I don't know who to start.
All right, I'm gonna do something.
Right now, it's too easy.
I'm gonna say you're gonna sound mad. I'm either gonna go Shirky or McAllister.
Okay, who are you going? You've got to pick one.
Mac 10 for the big game experience.
Okay, so Mac 10. Who's in your pivot then?
Belabor and Gravenberch.
Okay. And then on the bench would be Soberslai,
Shirky,
and Jones.
And let's say that I've got that combination wrong. The other combination that someone else can suggest, even in the chat or yourself, I'm not going to disagree. But you're giving me top options. Right now, like you just said, and you made a point, we don't have top options. We kind of know what our best kind of 3 is right now. Every game. The only reason we're really saying now to rotate is because we can see players are tired. If this is kind of towards the October, beginning of season, October, November, we already know our midfield is.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'm not going to lie, McAllister's too cold. One thing I will say, though, I think McAllister, I have seen him get bullied a little bit, but mainly against, dare I say, Arsenal and Newcastle off the top of my head. However, that's when he's in the pivot role. But you see, when he's further up the field and he can really affect the game, that's where you're giving him a little bit more license to run. You know, McAllister's going to get involved in the midfield anyway, but let him do his thing. And then you've got Baleba, especially Baleba will go to work. He'll go to work.
All right. One of the questions a lot of people have been putting in the chat is, where's the passer? If we went with Baleba and Gravenberch, who's the passer in that midfield? And also, Jamrock said it here as well. If we had got Zubimendi, Curtis doesn't see much pitch. Do you think the club wants someone like us, a combative midfielder, or do they want a conductor in the mold of a Zubimendi?
I don't know what the club wants anymore, if I'm being honest, because of the
I feel like
emergence.
the club wants a Zubimendi type.
Well, here's the thing. As good as I think Zubimendi is, and I still think he's a good player, no matter even he's had an indifferent season, you can understand why with all the shenanigans that happened.
Yeah.
If you get Zubimendi, what does that look like for you if we would have got him at the start of the season?
Given how we play, I think we'd have made the league even easier.
You think because Zubimendi probably would have got some minutes off either Gravenberch or McAllister, innit?
Oh, yeah. So let's say Gravs played like 2,000 odd minutes, McAllister played like 1,800. I think you drop both of those by about 300 minutes each.
Yeah.
Minimum. And
I'm not gonna lie. Zubimendi is that kind of old school dictator. Like he just likes to, all he does is to screen the back four and dictate. Don't worry, he can go forward. I've seen him go forward, but he's the real dictator of the game. And dare I say it, we would have more control of the game because he is that type of player. The game would go through him.
All right, I'm gonna go crazy here.
Yeah, go on.
Does that mean we sell Endo and Bajcetic and get 2 centre midfielders then?
No, we ain't doing that. You're doing too much.
We're not. I know we're not gonna. But let's say between now and the end of next year's summer, then do we need 3 midfielders, two deep line midfielders, and 110 between now and 2026 September 2026?
Yeah, ideally, yes. But would that happen? That's the problem. Yes, I'm with you on that one, but would it actually happen? I don't know. Which one would you
prioritize for this summer if I said you can only get one out of the two, whether it be a conductor / passing midfielder or a combative midfielder?
Ah, bruv. You're basically... All right. If you're asking me now, I've changed my tune.
Sleepy Forest took the liberties here. Says, Cal, don't forget Busquets Morton, you cursed a young child, bro. He's not a young child, guy's 20s.
Man, I don't know, man. Because there's parts when I'm like, no, we needed a conductor like a Zubimendi. Then there's parts when I see like the game against Newcastle, game against Everton, the game against Arsenal, where I feel like we get bullied a bit, and I'm like, I want a bit more steel in there. Pause. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit more of a physical presence. If Slot gets the right players, I think we could. I still think Zubimendi cooks in his team, you know. As much as I don't like him, he cooks, you know.
All right, I'm gonna throw in another curveball.
But so does Tchouaméni, though.
Given we're losing Trent, it seems, is a passer not more needed than a combative midfielder, given that we're going to lose creativity from the right back position and the way Trent gets us out of trouble with his passing a lot of the time?
Yeah, that's a good point, but we lack athleticism in the middle of the park.
I know we do, but we can only get one, Matt. You said that your words, you're moving crazy, Cal. We can only get one this summer. We can only get one, bro.
All right, we're losing Trent. Sorry, Cal, give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah.
Stay right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm back. If we're losing creativity with Trent's passing, however, I don't know what's going to go with the right back situation. So let's just say Conor Bradley starts the season. Conor Bradley will still give us an option as a traditional right back, like an overlap and under that. It's not going to be a passing thing. So we still get creativity, but just in a different way.
Yeah.
You could argue that if that's the case, you could go for a DM. I know people don't like me saying shit minutes. So I'm not going to keep saying his name, but a natural DM. Because one thing I do think we lack sometimes in general is a bit of pace in our team, like just general pace throughout the whole team. Ibu's quick. Virgil's still quick enough. Robbo, obviously got a bit slower. Trent is, I would say, kind of average.
No, Trent's quick just when he's going forward.
I still think it's a bit of a myth, but we'll agree to disagree. No, we'll agree to disagree on that one. But I wouldn't. No. But if I said to you,
he's not rapid.
Yeah, he's not rapid. I guess. McAllister, I think he's one of the slowest in our team. Gravenberch is not quick. He's just normal. Diaz used to be really quick, but still quick. Nunez doesn't even play, so you can't even count him because he doesn't play, but he's fast. Jota's not fast at all. Jota used to have a little bit of acceleration, but even that's kind of a little bit on the wane. And Salah, again, Salah's just not the same Salah. We do lack that, like some dynamism, like in our team. Like, when when you look at that player and go, nah. Sorry, I cannot forget Szoboszlai is rapid.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai is very, very quick, to be fair. Very, very quick. I feel like we just lack one or two more players like that in the team that will really help. Pace hurts in football. Obviously, you need technical ability, but
given what you just said there, which two positions in the team would you try and inject pace into the starting 11 if you could?
Oh, forward line and midfield.
So which one in the forward line?
Well, because Nunez, I think, is gonna be sold. I get the striker. He has to be quick. I don't want none of these strikers that these target Sesko and.
Can I ask you a question? Just why does the striker have to be quick when a lot of the time we don't play against high lines or even medium blocks? We play a lot of time against low blocks. Why does the striker need to be quick?
Because when you're dynamic, it causes a lot of problems. Dynamism in football, always, whether it's a low block, whether it's a mid block, it always causes issues because you could be quick off the mark. I get it. You might play against like a low block, but that half a step can get you that one step that you need, Cal. It's just a shame it didn't work with Darwin Núñez. But like Darwin Núñez, Darwin Núñez reminds me of? It reminds me a bit of like Cisse. You see, off the ball, if you pass on the ball, they are so rapid. But you see, with the ball, like they're not the most technical. Neither was Djibril Cisse, but Djibril Cisse had very, very good shooting technique, but he couldn't dribble. Djibril Cisse wasn't a dribbler.
No.
You know what I mean? He didn't know how to use his pace because he wasn't the greatest technically. Big up Cisse, I love Cisse, but he wasn't the greatest technically in terms of like, do you know what I mean? Someone like Isak is quick. Someone like Ekatike is quick. I want that profile of striker. They're quick, but they got good technical ability.
Yeah.
I feel like Sesko, I know I said he wasn't quick, but he's quick, but he's not. Yeah, go on.
For me, for the striker, it's more about speed of thought for me. I hate even saying this because I know it's gonna just really annoy people and people are gonna say I've got an agenda against him.
Yeah.
It'd be left because look, I'd love us to keep Salah. I don't know if we will. I'd love us to keep Salah. For me, injection in the left wing in terms of pace and injection in the centre midfield for pace.
I've got a hot take here. No, sorry, not a hot take.
But Gakpo, I'm not calling Gakpo a bench player, by the way. I'm saying he'd be rotational, but I think a left winger who is rapid and a 1v1 dribbler.
Yeah.
I need that. I need that now.
All right. I've got unpopular opinion. Luis Diaz kind of is that. He just doesn't do it enough.
Luis Diaz off the bench is brilliant, it seems.
I mean, that's one game, but I do think he's contributed. And again, I know we can upgrade on him. I know we can upgrade on Diaz. I do think Diaz goes to the Liga personally. And I do think he's going to find his way at Barca. I don't know how it's going to happen, and I think he does. I think he's going to do very well at Barca.
Yeah.
Personally.
Anthony's doing well over there, and then Diaz is going to light up, isn't it?
Don't do that. You was going to say, don't do that, bro. Because we know Diaz is like 5 times the player.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Anthony. He's going to light. If Anthony's doing well, Diaz is going to light it up.
Some people are saying Saudi. All I'm saying is this year, we shouldn't be too joyous to get rid of Diaz unless the upgrade is there. What worries me is Liverpool is we sell Diaz to say a Saudi, and the adequate replacement just ain't it. We've got to make sure we upgrade. So when Liverpool said about, we're going to get players to really, really improve the first team or replacements, they got to be. People are saying, is this? Oh, what Gittins from Dortmund? He's good, but he's a little bit unbattle tested for me.
He's very raw, very green.
Oh well, anyway, I'm gonna see what he's saying on Wednesday because I'm doing the game.
Nico Williams. What about Nico Williams?
Do you know what though? His end product is a little bit funky though, you know.
Could that not improve a better coaching and better players?
It could, but
he seems to be a different player.
But how much time do we have to waste? His end product. Nico Williams
we have a decent amount. Should we have at least a season? We could give.
I'll be so real. As good as Nico Williams is a prospect, Gakpo's clear of Nico Williams, you know. People won't let me say that he's clear of him still.
All right, we still got. Would you be all right if Chiesa was the rotational left winger?
I'm still not sold on Chiesa as much as Chiesa hasn't done anything wrong.
All right, chat. Watch this. Anthony Gordon.
He's all right. He's all right, ain't it? I don't know what you want me to say. He's all right. We ain't crap.
Would you trade? Would you trade Luis Diaz for Anthony Gordon?
Nah. Still not there. No. Do you know what it is? He's improved. Nah, though. What it is, Gordon hasn't done anything that's made me think, oh my days, I was so wrong. Gordon's decent. We know he's decent. He is decent. In fact, let me take it back. Gordon's good, you know. He's a good player. But I think Luis Diaz is a very good player. So why am I replacing Luis Diaz with Anthony Gordon? Just for the age?
Well, 5 years younger and better productivity.
Based on last season.
And this.
Not really.
Well, given that he doesn't play in as good a team, there's an argument to say his productivity has been better.
But there's an argument to say if you play in a lesser team and you're one of the main players, which he is him and Isak, you're going to get better productivity.
Potentially. I tell you one player I really do. I'm going to say his name. If something happens, you're going to crash out at me anyway in the chat. Antonio Nusa.
Oh, he was supposed to go to the Prem.
Yeah.
The move fell through.
Yeah. I like Nusa.
Belgian.
Yeah. No, Norwegian.
I know you're talking about. You're supposed to go Prem, you know. You're supposed to go Prem. Yeah, Brentford. That's it. All right, big up the chat. The chat them. No. It was supposed to go Brentford. I remember still. Failed medical. Yeah, there's some shenanigans. I remember with Brentford, didn't it? So it didn't.
Oh, he failed a medical.
Something like that. But then there was rumors that it didn't fail and that there was something else. I don't know. Spurs also won him as well. That's very true, SJ. Big up yourself.
Oh, a couple of people saying heart issues. God forbid. I hope that's not the case.
Damn, I hope he's all right still. That's mad.
Yeah, but I do like Nusa. I think he could.
Nusa is good, but do you think he can handle the Prem, the physicality?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair play.
Obviously, he's at PSG. Shout out to Jamrot. Jamrot was the first person that spoke about him. I think John II as well. Yeah. Doué.
Good player, but he ain't leaving PSG. Not right now. They got a good thing going over there right now, innit? So they got a good project over there.
Shout out to SJ. Malik Fofana is another one as well.
Malik Fofana.
Plays for Lyon.
Don't know him.
But very good left winger.
I don't know.
Again, still a little bit on the green side, but I think we have to target a player like that. One thing I do want to ask, though, obviously Gakpo's 25, I think?
I think 25, 26 Gakpo?
Oh, yeah. All right. Now, you'd imagine that Rio is seen as one of the future players in the team. Now, he's only 16.
That's like I say, he's still got beer time.
17 in August.
Yeah.
Would you get someone older than Gakpo around the same age or around the 21 to let's say the 20 to 22-year-old range.
I'm just gonna cheat and
And
say
if that happens, does that potentially block Rio coming through, who's 17?
Rio still got bare time.
That, but usually if you're a top player and you're breaking into the team, you want to break in around the 18, 19-year-old mark.
I get that. I'm gonna cheat. Just get me a player that's better than Gakpo if you can find him.
And you don't think Chiesa given chances could be better than Gakpo?
It's gonna sound so weird. Chiesa's done nothing wrong, and in fact, he's kind of done well. Chiesa doesn't. Maybe it's his match sharpness. He still doesn't look right. Maybe it's just match sharpness, though. To be fair, I don't know. Something worries me with Chiesa a little bit. As much as he's done well, and there's nothing to really suggest that something just seems a bit off. I can't explain it to you. I don't know what it is,
bro.
I don't know what it is, bro. But like, am I really trusting Chiesa in a whole Premier League campaign? Maybe.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. If you said to me right now, you got to revamp the front line, I think we could do it with just 2 players if Chiesa's given a chance and if Salah stays. I honestly would be happy to run with Gakpo and Chiesa as my 2 left wingers, Salah, hear me out, and Elliott as my 2 right wingers, and and 2 new strikers. Matt, I would do it. Especially if we were able to get Shirky as well. I'd do it.
Wait there. So when Salah's not playing, you want Elliott in the right wing.
I don't want him there, but I believe because Salah is going to be playing there, I think it's very hard to go and buy someone. I don't see the club going and buying someone who will be happy to come in and play second fiddle to Salah. And I think Elliott loves the club so much that I think he'd be happy to do it. I would like to see more rotation, so Elliott gets more minutes than he gets now.
Salah's getting slower with each passing day. Elliott's already slow, and bigger Elliott because he's had the mad injuries as well. That's obviously contributed to that. But there's no dynamism in our team. Remember when I said I wanted our team to be quicker, more dynamic? You want to make it slower.
Not technically, because I still think Salah's got decent pace. I actually think Chiesa is quicker than a lot of people think.
He's not, bro.
Chiesa ain't slow. He's not like
how he used to be.
Yeah, but he's not slow.
Bro, we need to be dynamic in the final third. What you just said there, does that scream any dynamism whatsoever? But bear in mind, though, you did say 2 new strikers, and we don't know who those new strikers are. To give you that, yeah. But the wings have to be dynamic, Cal.
So does that mean then we're losing? Does that mean we need to get 2 wingers and 2 strikers, bro?
Yeah, we've got a lot of shopping to do. You know, when you're younger,
we ain't doing that in one summer, man.
Bro, how many times?
I'm saying that for me, the 2 strikers is more important than the 2 wingers this summer.
How many times when you was younger, when like say like your one of your parents dropped you off to football, and as soon as you get back, mum's like, we need to go shopping. You just got back from football. You're tired. Socks are low. Yeah. That is the biggest moth. The hell, bro? Sorry, bro. Sorry, guys. I got to deal with it. What the flip is that? Sorry, chat. 1 second.
Right. Let me start hitting up some of the supers before Matt comes back. AJ Knows Ball says, I'm with legends, guys. # justice for Chiesa. Big up yourself, bro. Shan says, big up Matt, followed me back on T when Ethel subs. Big up yourself, Shan. Been a member for 12 months as well. John, I've been consistent from the start. Saliba is more consistent and better overall than Konate. Still the case, regardless of trophies. I disagree. I think Konate is better than Saliba, but Saliba is still top drawer in my opinion. Big up to Jamrock, who says, LFC have changed their starting lineup the least in the Premier League. They were second to last behind Forest 2 months ago. Now we're last. Media getting on slot now. Yeah, probably going to do a couple members videos on that, you know, bro. John, one thing that's peeing me off with VVD and His constant complaining rather than playing to the whistle. Brother, shut up and play, attack the space. Yeah, he can be guilty of that. He can be guilty of that. Ahmed says, big up Kopish. We need a better finish to this season. Agreed. Big up to Keaton. He says, guys, it's my daughter's birthday. She's 2 years old today. Could you please drop the beat? We can do indeed. Big up to your daughter, Keaton. This is, well, she'll probably be sleeping now, but regardless, this is for your daughter. Happy birthday to her, bro. Big up Keaton and the family. JC says, despite the injury issues, 180k should be a no-brainer for Ibu and for a top 10 centre-back. Also worse, in short, if PSG, Real Madrid want him soon we get a good fee. Very true as well. That is very true. WeChat Football says the problem is we have no cover at centre-back. Agreed. Zone 14.
No, bro.
To them by shirt number and club, please, Carl. Do you know what? I'll do that.
The hell was that, fam?
You know what? But before I finish the super chats, Matt, yeah, let's go back to what we were saying. We were speaking.
Yeah,
about...
so I thought I was in Starship Troopers. I just, bruv, no word of a lie. The moth was like, I haven't ever even a moth, bro. It was like, I can't even describe how big it was. Bro.
It's gonna be like that this time of year, though, because obviously it's getting.
It was stupid. It wasn't a butterfly. People saying butterfly. It wasn't no butterfly. Trust me, it was massive, bro.
Yeah, we get where I am. We get bats and all those things. So I could never.
Yeah,
I can't film it this time with the window open. It'd be
yeah. I think the door was open. Like, nah, that's some mad thing. Sorry, bro. I had to get rid of it.
For me? This summer, priorities are 2 strikers. I don't think we'll get more than 2 forwards in one window unless we sell a crazy amount. So for me, I'm saying next year's summer is where we attack the wing situation.
I think Nunes and Diaz could potentially go to Saudi, in which case we'd have to bring in 2 anyway. But you're right, those will probably be the only 2. I don't see a world where we upgrade on Jota, where as much as I rate Jota, I would like to upgrade on Jota. And not only that, we need to help out Salah on the right wing. But yeah, I think you're right, bro. It's probably going to be 2 in it at best. And that's if 2 go.
Okay. You spoke about Nunes. If I said to you one of the replacements for strikers, Osimhen, how would you feel?
I'm not an Osimhen fan. Like, I think he's good, but he's just not my type of striker, bro.
What about Osimhen do you not like?
He's too hot potato. Like, he's not like, you see, if you like fizzing the ball, he's not going to take care. He's more like running behind. He's aggressive, very, very good in the air, and he's a poacher. It sounds weird. I like my football to be a bit more, like more cultured, like a bit more all-rounded. Like, I think. And again, I know I shouldn't keep using his name because we're not going to get him, but Isak is more better all-round footballer. Like, he's a good footballer, not just a good striker. Does that make sense? There can be 2 things, yeah. Osimhen, I think, is a good striker. I just don't think he's a good footballer, though. And maybe I'm asking for the perfect striker. I want it to be a good striker and a good footballer. And I know I am asking for a lot, but we're Liverpool. We should be able to scour the globe and find these type of players.
Agreed.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Is Osimhen a big upgrade on Darwin, in your opinion?
The thing is, he actually is, because he's more reliable in front of goal. He is more reliable. I don't know what it is. There's something about him. I just don't resonate with him.
He works hard, presses well, good finisher. Does miss quite a lot of chances as well, but he does score a lot of goals. Strong, quick.
Is he He's not technical though, is he? For the slightest.
Yeah, technical.
No, he's not. He's done them hot potato strikers. I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh when I say that. Let me take.
I think hard. I think that is harsh.
But he's just. It can look a bit clumsy. You know what it is? I don't want my striker. Let me say this. Yeah, people won't like me saying this. we've had to put up with a lot over the last couple of years.
Hmm.
I just want to have a striker where like is good at all facets of the game. We used to Fowler, Owen, Suarez, Torres.
Do we just not need a
We
striker?
always find them like Atletico. Why can't we find another one?
Would you have Haaland in this team?
I'd rather Isak.
That wasn't my question.
I gave you my answer though.
No.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
You gave an answer to a question I didn't ask. I said
Haaland, and I'm saying Isak.
Isak.
Haaland, Isak. Haaland. Oh, I'm saying Isak, bro.
Haaland's available in the sum of 50 mil and he wants to play for Liverpool.
That's an anomaly, though. I could put up with Haaland. Do you want to know why, though? He is what you would call an alien in front of goal. So that's a bit different. Osimhen's not an alien like that, if you get what I mean. Like, I know Haaland misses chances like most strikers, but you would still put Haaland. Like, Haaland gets a stupid amount of goals, bro. Osimhen, don't get me wrong, in the title winning season, let me take that back. Title winning season, Osimhen was on a mad thing. But since then, it's gone a little bit. He still scored goals, but
I think he's got 20 and 23 for Galatasaray at the moment. And again, Galatasaray is not the hardest league in the world.
Yeah. No, that's still good numbers, though.
Of course. All right. What about the lap?
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Jamie. I liked the lap before, but since Jamie was like how properly watch him and look into his numbers as well, I think the lap's got to be one of the players. I'm gonna say something bold as well.
Don't say if you ever dare say it.
I'm
gonna have a problem with you and Jamie. You know,
I'll be willing to potentially send Jadon Danns out on loan again if it means we can get the lap.
All right. I haven't got a problem with the lap signing for Liverpool.
But he wouldn't be my main striker.
Okay, but why would the lap leave Ipswich to be a backup striker at Liverpool? Is that going to help his development? That's my argument.
This is the tricky. It depends who we get as another striker.
Yeah.
But the lap is a player I definitely think we should be trying to get.
Do you know what? The lap is a good striker. The reason why I'm saying the lap now is because I can't imagine him leading the line for defending champions. We can't do that, bro. If we do that, we might as well just factory reset the whole club. But imagine we're going to be defending champions, or I think we'll do. Let me not say, because it's not mathematically impossible, but I'm expecting us to be champions. If Liverpool sell Darwin Núñez and go and get me Liam Delap, I already know what the club's on. I'm going to start expecting us to sign
You might not like me saying this. I know Drift definitely won't like me saying this. I think the lap is better than Darwin Núñez.
Based on what though?
Dribbling, first touch.
He's probably a better gifted footballer, but I do think that's a bit too much. Because I'll say this: look at Darwin's record at Uruguay. Darwin plays for his country, bro. Delap ain't doing that. Come on, as much as I don't even rate Darwin, we can't disrespect. But Núñez is doing Copa America and things like that, you know. Come on, we can't. And again, Núñez is
the lap's better than Darwin.
What, better natural footballer, bro?
He's better right now today. He's better than Darwin.
Based on what though?
He's better at dribbling. He's got a better first touch. He's got better finishing with both feet. He's got better passing. He's better than Darwin Núñez, bro. The only thing he hasn't got on Darwin, in my opinion, is pace.
You think he's just clear of Darwin? Because you've literally said everything other than pace.
Yeah. Darwin might have better movement as well. I think the lap is better than Darwin.
No.
Remember, I'm someone who doesn't think Darwin is crap.
All right. Scrap Darwin's this year. If we're going off Darwin's last 2 years, and I know he doesn't clangers, Darwin's still got a good amount of goals though. Like they just won. Are we really gonna go that far?
Delap has got 12 goals in the Premier League this season. Nunes has got 5.
Nah, don't do that though.
Wait.
Nunes...
Wait, hear me out. Delap is younger and playing in a way worse team and getting way less chances than Darwin.
But you could also say when you're playing a lesser team and you are the best player and all the chances fall to you.
You're a striker though, Matt.
Come on, man. We can't do that, man. I think people have been... Again, and listen, people... I'm not even trying to like defend Darwin like that. Like I rate him like that. People in the chat know that. He needs to be replaced. But to say Delap is better already...
Why don't you think he is then?
He's had a good season, but I've seen Delap in some games and he's looked mad spooky. He ain't done nothing.
For Ipswich.
Who has he scored against, bro? Come on, we have to put context to it. Like, there ain't no big games where I ain't seen Delap. All right, someone tell me, when was Delap cooking in a big game?
That's how many league goals Darwin Nunes has scored for Premier
Bro,
League.
forget.
Premier
Yeah,
League
but
Liverpool.
it's easy to knock a man when he's down, though, bro.
I'm not
Darwin's...
knocking him while he's down.
All right, hear this, yeah. Me and Drift was going back and forth yesterday, and I said to him, Darwin has mentally checked out. Drift was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Bro, he doesn't even press. Like he's just on the pitch and he's just not really doing anything." And we're just going back and forth. You can see it like mentally. Darwin's regressed this year. Last year he was better. He was better last year.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I still, honestly, Matt, I'm taking... So if you were given a choice between Liam Delap and Darwin Nunes, you're taking Darwin.
I don't know. I like what Delap does, but to say that is... All right, then. No, here's what you're saying, though. I need man to understand what I'm saying. We don't rate Darwin fair play. But if you're replacing Darwin with Liam Delap, are you cool with that then? I don't want it, because let's not do this whole...
Darwin's our second choice striker. Liam Delap would be our second choice striker. I think we upgrade.
Right now, he'd theoretically be our first because Jota's availability is a bit spooky.
No, but I'm talking in terms of...
Oh, he'll be fighting. No, let's keep it right. He'll be fighting Jota for the number 1 spot.
No, I hear that. But in terms of pecking order right now, in Slot's eyes, Jota's number 1 choice and Darwin's number 2. That's Slot's vision, right?
Mm.
So if you're saying to replace Darwin, whose second choice currently is Liam Delap, I'm biting your hand off for it, bro. I'm biting your hand off for it, Matt. And then obviously then about who is the upgrade for Jota. But as an upgrade for Darwin, I think Delap is better.
Here's the thing. People are saying I'm sleeping on Delap. I'm not. Remember, I've caveated that and saying he's a good player. What people need to understand is the lights are bright at Anfield. Man, forget like when you're playing
33. Only Isak 29% and Haaland 21% have a better goal conversion rate than Liam Delap, 20% this season. He averages more dribbles, 3.7, and progressive runs than the duo.
The conversion rate is good, but when you say dribbles, the dribbles don't mean that much because dribbles they could turn to nothing.
In Ipswich's
and
team,
progressive runs, like what is like?
I'm guessing progressive runs is driving.
I'm sure Nunes has progressive runs. Like what I'm saying is though,
spooky, man. The stats are spooky.
No, I'm not. People need to get. I'm not happy with Darwin Nunes, yeah. But you see, when the lights are bright at Anfield, it's a different energy, you know, bro. I've seen world-class strikers fumble at Anfield. Remember when we bought Morientes, bro?
He was
and
older.
Again, we could. I understand that, but the experience is there. I'm telling you, when the lights are bright.
And again, I hate to say this, Morientes was never world class.
Nah, at one point it probably was, you know, bro. Him and Raul were doing a mad thing. It might only be
Raul was always world class. Raul's
no, bro. Don't disrespect Morientes. He was bro. Morientes probably was world class at one point, you know, bro.
Not world class for me.
It was Raul
was world class. Morientes
if he wasn't a world class player, he was definitely a world class finisher. 100%.
He was a level 100%. He was a level below world class, but he was never world class.
Nah, he was a world class finisher though. At least
Maybe
was,
give
bro.
you that.
I'm telling you, Bob Moyes was different at Raul.
No, but he was never world class, man. That's what I'm. Raul was the main guy. We all knew this.
Raul was the main guy, but you know what? Let me. I have to quickly check something because I remember I saw Moyes.
I'm not trying to. You know, I'm not trying to trigger you, right? You know that.
Nah, I know, but you are though. Let me see Moyes. Let me quickly see though. Moyes was a madman. I think you're forgetting who he was, bruv.
I would never forget Morientes was one of my favorite players, especially when we signed him. It's over the moon when we signed Morientes.
All right, so for Real Madrid, he got 100 goals in 272 games. I'll just quickly check that now. But I think Morientes was cold. And again, maybe world-class players a bit much, but I do think it's world-class finish at one point.
This is what I think about nostalgia. Sometimes we
no, but Moyes was cold, bro. Trust me, it was cold. But going to Liam Delap, yeah, the transition from playing from a relegation side Ipswich compared to Liverpool.
He's also been at Man City, though.
Which means
he backs himself. He backs himself because he could have been comfy at City, but he said, "No, I want to go and play football."
Bro, the bright lights sometimes can affect you. It can.
You've seen bright lights at Man City, obviously not to the level, and been like a regular.
I could be so wrong with this, but I don't want to see Liam Delap leading the line for Liverpool next season. As good as he is, if he's the backup, like say, we'll give you an example. Perfect scenario. Isak and Delap, I'm good with it, bro. Cool. But if he's the lead guy, I'm not sure about that. And I could be so wrong, by the way.
Big up to Junior. Junior, I'm not even trying to single you out here. When has relegation for them made it a big club? Gini Wijnaldum and Andy Robertson. Yeah. I mean, two of the best players to play in the modern era for Liverpool.
You gotta have the mentality, though. You can have all the ability in the world. It's the mentality, though. It's hard to say with the lab. It's hard. It's hard to say. No one can gauge that other than him in it.
I do feel like he has the mentality, though. I do think he has a mentality.
Listen, I think he was a good player, but I don't know, man. I don't know. As good as Liam Delap is, man, like we're Liverpool, man. Like I feel like again, I'm not trying to trigger the fan base, but it's because we know we're not getting Isak, so now we're looking for the next best thing. Like it's just nah, man. That Real Madrid wouldn't be doing that. Real Madrid said Kylian or Kylian. If it's not Kylian, it's Kylian. If we don't get Mbappe, it's in Kylian. We're now doing if it's not Isak, we go Liam Delap. This is the problem with our club.
No, but
this is the problem right here.
No, I hear it, but
man are looking like you really think Real Madrid will go and get anyway. But this is
we need we need two strikers either way, Matt. So either way, even if we got Isak, we'd still need another striker, right?
I hear it, but like no, I hear it, but we gotta be realistic with ourselves, though. You know, if we buy Liam Delap, we can't expect big things. You know that, right? We can't expect Liam Delap to start bagging 20 in the Prem.
Liam would be the second choice. So let's say we went and got a striker you like, Ekatike, for example.
Who you think's better, Ekatike or Delap, in your opinion?
I think Delap is a better finisher, but I think Ekatike is a better footballer.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be fair. I agree with that.
But let's say it was those two. How would you feel about that?
Hold on. Big up Jamra. It said, while we compare ourselves to Real Madrid in Spain, in what world does that make logical sense, man? I tell you what makes sense.
Real Madrid can wait for it, Kylian, but we can't wait for Isak. After this season, we can't.
Yeah. Real Madrid try to get the best of the best. Forget about where they play, Jamra. It's about the mentality of the club. This is the problem, Jamra. The mentality. The man don't understand. The mentality is there for everyone to see.
Their backup is Hosselu, bro.
No, Hosselu.
Hosselu.
They had Hosselu. But do you know what they did? They went with Bellingham false 9. That's how they won the Liga last year. I watched literally every game. Bro, Bellingham was their MVP of last year.
Yeah, I
It
hear
was
that.
Bellingham. All the talk about, don't get me wrong, Bellingham did come was a bit stinky, like in Champions League. I'm not gonna lie. You see La Liga, don't let anybody fool you. Jude Bellingham was serious last year.
Fairs.
Unless you watched the Liga last year, and that's not, people can't really speak on Jude. They can do the PR thing, I get it. But unless you watch the
I
Liga,
don't get how I don't get how
I
people
don't get it. If you
don't
don't
rate
like him, fair enough. And if you don't even think he's the most technical, fair enough. But the thing is
I
with
think
Jude,
it's our
Jude
fan
makes
base
it happen.
because we didn't get him and because they're getting Trent and people think that Jude's the reason why they're getting Trent. People just speak down about Jude as a footballer. Jude would walk into this Liverpool team.
That's what I'm
He
saying. I don't understand.
would
He
walk
walks
into this
in,
Liverpool
bro.
team.
He walks in.
Like, in fact, I'll be honest, I don't know if there's a team in the Premier League where Jude doesn't walk into.
Listen, he's not the most technically gifted. Do you know what's so crazy? You get players like Jude Bellingham. Dare I even say, even a Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes might lose the ball 50 million times, yeah. But at some point, he's gonna do something for you. He'll do something. He will probably win you a game at some point as well. Sometimes you need players like that in your team, you know. You can't always have the perfect player. Of course, Matt 10's a better overall player. No one's not saying that, bro. But you're missing the point, man. All I'm saying is Jude's mentality is his best attribute. And sometimes as a footballer, you might not have to be the most technically gifted. And Jude's technical, just not technically like how we would say David Silva, KDB. He's not elite, but he's still good technical, bro.
Very
still good.
I've seen him slapping in 25 yards.
How about this? How about this? How about this? For all the Jude haters out there, put Bellingham in the 10 in it. I bet he gets better numbers than Soboslai. How about that? And he'll give you the work rate. How about that?
All right, chill.
No. How about that? If you're going to challenge me.
Sobo didn't deserve that strain, man.
He didn't, but we have to call it what it is because I see bare people saying PR. I understand it, but is it PR if Jude Bellingham gets better numbers than Soboslai? Are you going to say that's PR? Come on. Are you mad?
One sec, bro.
Yeah. Who in the chat disagrees with me? Who in the chat disagrees? Come on.
I hear it.
Come on.
Araujo.
Araujo.
Araujo. Yeah. Liverpool have been linked with him because Barcelona look like they're going to give him a new contract. Yeah. Should we be in for him?
Too injury prone. If it wasn't for the injuries, I'd say, yeah, 100%. But the injuries, yards, I'm not. Do you know what it is though? It's one of them things where it's like, I understand the player gets a lot of PR, and also I don't like him in the sense of because he's probably one of the reasons why Trent's even gone in the first place. But what I'm saying is that you still can't deny the fact that he's an effective footballer. You might not like it, but he's effective.
He's brilliant.
He is effective. You can't. I don't know.
I'm just looking at Araujo's injury. Oh no.
All right, I can tell you one now off the top of my head. He got injured in the Copa America and only made his Barcelona debut this season in about January or February. No, it's a myth.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. How many games did he miss from Copa America?
So this season alone, he's missed 30 games this season. Yeah,
we gotta stay clear, bro.
Yeah, I apologize for anyone who's looking in the title thinking we're going to spend long on Araujo. Yeah, put the fries in the bag. We cannot be signing him.
Yeah,
very good centre back, and a right back as well. But no, yeah, that's not happening. Jeez, that's crazy. That is crazy. Right, let's have these supers. JC says, Cal, please don't mention. Well, you pay for
Xavi Simons. I ain't even bothered. I don't even. He's just. I don't even want us to get Xavi Simons.
No, me neither. Good player, but just not my cup of tea. WeChat Football says, Cal, feel it for you, mate. You can't catch a break. I hear you, bro. I hear you. The chat earlier was hashtag Cal out, hashtag Cal curse. I hear it, man. JC says, please mention João Pedro. LOL. Yeah, I'm quite glad this João Pedro hype's died down, man, because he was very much flavor of the month, and everyone was going crazy for it. The guy is a good footballer. He's nowhere near Liverpool level. Nowhere near Liverpool level. Melon Dope says, what do washing machines and transfers have in common? They both live long.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy. Melon Dope boy with the Itachi DP as well. That's crazy.
That's super chat of the night. They both live longer with Cal gone. That's
crazy. Or is that Sasuke? No, it's that Itachi.
That wordplay. Melon Dope. Sorry, Melon Dope. That is absolutely brilliant. That is up there, one of the best super chats I've seen. The wordplay is fantastic. Transfer rumors live longer with Cal gone. Jay says Xavi Simmons or Harvey Elliott. Xavi can play left wing. Who's better at Xavi Simmons and Elliott in your opinion?
Bruv, that's like Xavi Simmons probably because he plays week in, week out though. And Harvey Elliott had that injury. I feel like if Harvey Elliott played the same amount of football as Xavi Simmons, I reckon Harvey Elliott could do it. Yeah. Injuries and lack of playing time. So,
yeah, I've got Harvey Elliott there. AJ Knows Ball says, for the love of everything, Cal, if anything official comes out regards to Matt phone Stevie to punch up Cal if he says it. Jay says, send Leverkusen, Sobo, LOL, City as Foden. I think Foden's going to interchange with Savinho next season. To be honest, I think they want a proper number 10 in the mold of a Kevin De Bruyne or someone who could give you Kevin De Bruyne-esque numbers. Jay says, Eze,
what?
Elliott, Shirky, Simmons, Rogers, or who's GW?
GW.
Who is GW? Gibbs White. I'm gonna say Gibbs White.
Okay. For me, that's clear.
The person I don't think we'll get, whose name I can't say, and then
Florian.
Big up Jay again. Says part of the problem is Sobo gives the ball away. He does needlessly a lot as well. If you could say his name, please, Matt.
Verts.
It just a pass to Sobo, by the way. Maybe he's not as powerful a runner though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think
Liam says
Verts off the left, Diaz to Saudi.
No, I want Verts. Sorry,
but I said the super chat, I was gonna read the whole thing. Yeah, we're finished.
I know. I'm sorry.
We're finished. We're cooked.
Is he slightly injury prone?
I don't know if he's missed many games.
Isn't he out injured at the moment?
Is he? Hold on. The chat saying it's done. What he's saying is the way done. Hold on.
Sorry, man.
What's injury history? Hold on. Florian Wirtz. Oh my days. Oh no. Wait there. What season is it? Is it the 24-25 season? Yeah. Bruv, he's been out for 31 days with an inner ligament injury. He's missed 5 games. I don't know if he's still injured. He might be with an issue still. But so far, he's missed 5 games this year. It was only when he's
only had one major injury in his career.
and that's when he missed 49. And then the year after, he missed 3. Last year, he missed 3. And this year, he's missed 5. It's not even that bad for Wirtz.
So, last season 3, the season before 3, and this season 5. That's not bad.
That's calm, in my opinion. That's calm.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Andre says, enjoyed the streets, won't forget video. Can we get a 1-season wonder team of all time? I think that'd be fun. Yeah,
I'll take a picture of that now.
Yeah, same. That's a fantastic idea, Andre.
One season wonder would be sick.
That's a fantastic idea. Big out yourself, Andre.
I've already got 4 players that are coming to mind already, you know.
Same.
4 players, and I bet they're the same players. I've got a funny feeling.
I'm gonna say one of them and tell me if he's there.
You're gone.
Papa Cisse.
Yep, he's there.
He wasn't even a 1 season wonder. He was a 6-month wonder.
All right, I'll give you one. Michu.
Yeah.
Swansea's Michu, you know. My word, bro.
What was that brother who played Amir Zaki at Wigan?
Oh my days.
When we scored a brace at Anfield, one of them was a bicycle.
Amir Zaki went, yeah. Remember, obviously everyone knows Payet. Payet is the clear one, like.
Yeah, Payet was a G.
Do you know? Trust me.
Brilliant idea, Andre. We'll definitely do that. Jay says Doué or Gordon or Nico. Doué for me.
Probably Doué,
then Gordon. Literally in that order. Doué, Gordon, and then Nico for me.
Yeah.
Juventus's Kenan Yildiz.
Oh yeah, he's good, you know. Good player, but I don't know if he's good. I'm not sure on him though.
Fonzie says Matt Smackdown the FSG drone. He says one of the mini ones that looks like a fly. Yeah.
Oh my days, yeah, might have been still.
D Dub says, Cal, do you genuinely think the lap can play in tight spaces and against the regular low blocks? I do. I genuinely
I'm unsure. I don't think he's got footwork like that.
I think he does.
He's more like a battering ram type style striker. No, all right, that's a bit disrespectful.
He reminds me of what Harry Kane was when he was young.
He likes to fight against he likes to fight against the strikers. The defenders a bit too much though.
He reminds me of when Harry Kane was
Man's
young.
always in survival mode, and I get it because. In fact, let me not say nothing disrespectful to Ipswich.
Well, he's probably literally isn't surviving.
Yeah, I get what I just said because he's. But yeah.
Yeah. AJ Knows Ball says, who will be rated high in 2028, Saka or Elise? If Saka doesn't continue getting injuries, I reckon in this country, Saka will be. If Elise comes back to the Prem and becomes a starter, Liverpool, I think it'll be Elise. Isak or Alvarez in 2028, probably Alvarez because Isak will be hitting around the 29-30 mark. Palmer over Foden, I believe. Oh, Pedri, Bellingham. Boy, I'll let you take that one, Matt. Sorry, I know I'm throwing you under the bus there. You cover La Liga, though. You... Big up to the Matt One show. Big up. You cover La Liga.
That's nasty.
You cover La Liga, bro. You're the La Liga correspondent, bro.
That's nasty work. That is
big up to the Matt One show.
All right, obviously. I'll say this. Pedri is a better footballer than Bellingham. That's not even a debate. But who will be rated higher? All right, I'm gonna say Pedri, but it wouldn't shock me at the same time if it's Bellingham, and that's only because it'll be like who wins more and who is more instrumental in their club winning. I'm gonna say Pedri though. Pedri should be really. Because I think Pedri is now more instrumental. You know, if Bellingham stayed in that false 9 role a bit longer, I think maybe there might have been a different argument because Bellingham, you might not think he's as good a footballer as Pedri because he's not, but he could have been instrumental in them winning. But now he just plays in his normal CM role and he's not really, he's like more like a box crasher. Like he's not really like, because he's not a Toni Kroos that used to be there. He's not a Luka Modric, and he's not even a Valverde. It's weird with Bellingham. Yeah. He just moments. He's a moments player, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
In his CM role.
I hear it.
But yeah.
It's a nice little segue. Am I right in saying you're doing the Real Madrid Arsenal game tomorrow?
Yeah. Real Madrid Arsenal game tomorrow. And big up Enz as well. Enz will be joining me tomorrow. So big up Enz, man.
Big up Enz.
Big up my brother Enz, man.
The lap is what Ferguson was supposed to be. That's Evan Ferguson. Yeah, I hear that. I thought Evan
Do
Ferguson.
you know what?
was
That's kind of a good shot.
Injuries have done him in, innit?
Yeah. You know what? You might be onto something there. I just still worry about his technical. I'm not saying he's not techie.
The lap's good, you know.
I'll have to
Watch
see
if you
more.
can between now and the end of the season. Try and watch a couple of his games, Matt. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right. I've seen him a few times, but I've just thought I've always thought, oh no, Delap's good, but I've never thought I see him playing for Liverpool. That's all it is. I've just never looked at him like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Shout out to LFC Network. Go and follow them on Instagram, doing big things over there. Would you take the Barla contract runs out 2026? For me personally, no.
I think the boat
A few years back then, yeah, but no, not now.
Yeah.
Very underrated player of his career, though, in my opinion. Jamrock Fellas. Again, it's another player that John always tells me about. Mika Zhao.
Who does he play for again?
Leon as well.
Yeah.
Mikouts Tadze is a good player, Georgian. I've watched him a couple times on the recommendation of John II. Good player. Jay says Valverde is more like Gerrard than Jude. Again, I'm going to say something, and I know people are going to run with this and take it the wrong way. Jude is almost a hybrid of Gerrard and Lampard. I don't think he's similar to either of them. I think he does both of what they do. Obviously not.
I know what you mean because
he's more of a hybrid. Valverde. I look at Jay's right. I look at Valverde and go, "That's a Gerrard. That's a Gerrard."
Yeah, 100. Jay's right. One thing I will say about Bellingham, though, which is kind of not weird, but Bellingham suits the Prem than he does La Liga.
Yeah, I know
he's made for the Prem. Whoever he plays for, don't know. But his style of football is made for the Prem.
Yeah,
I reckon Bellingham would be a Premier League star in the Prem.
Absolutely. But Matt, apart from the Real Madrid game, have you got anything you want to promote on your channel before we sign off, bro?
So yeah, like I said, so I've got Real Madrid, Arsenal tomorrow, chat. So big up for the people that want to join me over there tomorrow. That should be a good game. Wednesday, I'm doing the Barca versus Dortmund game as well. And then Thursday, we're gonna do an Ekatike watch. So I'm gonna do the Spurs versus Frankfurt game as well on Thursday.
That
so yeah, man, 3 games all in a row, people. Make sure you're there. Matt One Show. You know what time it is, people. We move.
Big up. Also, check out Drift's channel as well.
Trust me. TV. I think Drift might be doing some stuff potentially as well. I know he couldn't make it today, but keep an eye on his channel, chat, because I'm almost certain he'll be live either tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. Do you know what I mean? He'll be there.
Big up Drift. I'm going to be going live with Monch straight after this, so you'll be redirected there. So just stay here, people, and you'll be taken straight over to that show. I'll also be live with Jamie and Luke tomorrow evening, hopefully, for Combat Catch Up over on the Sanderson Show. Also, there's a new video that dropped on the Sanderson Show last night, where we look at the UFC Mount Rushmore of fighters in the 115-pound women's division. And also tomorrow will be coming out will be the match day vlog from Fulham versus Liverpool. So I've got plenty of stuff for you guys, and me and Matt will be on
Sam shows
tomorrow at 1 p.m. as well.
You're gonna see us a lot this week, chat. Trust me.
Definitely. Jay says the lap got Kwanzaa benched at halftime. He did, to be fair. He did. But now, people, look, I say it all the time. I'm gonna keep on stressing it till it becomes habit. Smash that like button. It helps the channel to grow and does a lot for the channel, guys, and it's free to do. It's one of the only things we ask you to do. And also share the video as well, please, guys, to people, whether they be Liverpool fans or not, even if they're just football fans. We'd love to get more subscribers, love to get more likes, so please do that. People, as I said, we get a new video tomorrow. They will probably be live on Wednesday and then go from there, people. It's been another pleasure. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Leave your comments, share the video, smash the like button. Till we see you again. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Team Kopish, and we're out, people. Take care.
Love, people. See you tomorrow.